I don't think this was a tough guy going to hang in there, and he took tremendous punishment to get coming back.
I knew I wasn't going to be able to outpower him because my first time coming up to 200. So I knew I had to use the gifts that God gave me. Speed, power, movement, bone selection, and IQ. That's exactly what I did.
Got all out. He's on his way now to I just want to get now. Let's see how we're together.
God damn, I'm gonna get fucked up, baby. The best fights I've ever seen in my life. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I'm getting loaded.
What are your thoughts on the fight?
They call him the Mexican monster for a reason.
That was crazy. Were you expecting that?
I was expecting Zurdo to be able to go to 12 because Zurdo was never been stopped before. Or not that I remember him. I don't think he's been stopped before. But he's tough, But I mean, David's much stronger at cruiser weight than he was at 175 and 168. Like much stronger. You can see in his speed, and he's not killing himself. You can tell.
Were you impressed that Ramirez came back after the fourth round? It looked like it was over.
Honestly, I mean, he's a warrior, bro. I mean, dude, the year coming where he got hard. He kept trying.
I'm just very happy with this, and I just want to keep fighting against the best in the world and keep cementing my greatness. Everybody doubts me over and over and over and over again, but that's what I like. I like when people doubt me because then I get to come in here and show you guys what I'm really made of. So I just want to tell you thank you so much. I love every single one of you, and this is a blessing just to be here with you guys. So thank you so much. I feel that I'm really starting to come into my own. Everything I speak, I do. You know what I mean? I said I was going to beat David Morrell. I said I was going to beat Caleb Plant. I said I was going to beat Yard. I said I was going to beat Zurdo Ramirez. So I'm just getting a lot of confidence in myself. And back then I thought it was a dream that I could become a great, and now I know for sure that this is my destiny. And I'm just very, very happy that I'm able to have this type of performance in Cinco de Mayo in the United States. My last fight was in Saudi Arabia. I had a great performance out there too. And it's just, just a blessing to be able to follow it up with this type of performance in the United States on Cinco de Mayo.
Watching Gilberto Ramirez, a former world champion, once seen as nearly unbeatable being carried out of T-Mobile Arena on a stretcher became a shocking moment. The bright lights, the silent crowd, and the sense of devastation created a deeply unsettling scene. But what if the most troubling part was not the knockout itself? What if the outcome had already been decided before the opening bell behind the scenes during training camp and away? From the cameras, there may have been signs of mental defeat, suggesting that the real battle was lost long before the fight even began.
Ladies and gentlemen, big 6-round KO from David Benavidez versus Zurdo Ramirez. Cinco de Mayo weekend. Definitely a great fight, but wow. David Benavidez knocks down Zurdo Ramirez in the 4th round, and then continuously, throwing crazy combinations. I mean, I'm talking about 6-piece combinations, real close range. Zurdo Ramirez came into the fight strong, came in there with his front foot. He came in there pressing the action. But David Benavidez's speed combinations was just way too much. Shout out to Zurdo Ramirez. Hell of a chin on him, man. I mean, I'm telling you, he took so many big shots. David Benavidez ended up closing his eye, and he really just couldn't take any more. But big shout outs to, Jaime Munguia as well, beating Resendiz for the WBA title. And now you have David Benavidez, a 3-division champion. I mean, what's next? We seen Canelo Alvarez in the building for Jaime Munguia, but was nowhere to be found on the main event. David Benavidez called him out, let everybody know, listening to fans, do you want this fight? He's calling out Monstro. The fans are calling out Monstro. It was definitely a great performance.
Just days before facing one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport, Gilberto Ramirez made an unexpected admission during Fight Week media sessions, where boxers usually show total confidence and present themselves as unbeatable. Instead, he revealed something surprising by saying he might only have 1 or 2 fights left in his career, a statement that quickly caught attention and sent concern throughout the boxing world.
And I know that you mentioned you are thinking of only fighting 2 more times. With that being said, what is your really dream matchup in the sport of boxing before you retire?
I don't know. Let's find out. But I have this Saturday, this coming fight Saturday, and then who knows?
Yeah. And lastly, what can fans expect Saturday night, and what do you really want your legacy to be when it's all said and done one day?
They have to expect a war. It will be a war this fight, and I will raise my hand with my belt for the winner.
What about the legacy?
My legacy, I already have legacy, and probably I will do more.
Completely. Well, thank you so much.
Talking about stepping away from the sport while preparing for a high-stakes showdown like Cinco de Mayo is seen as a critical mistake in boxing. It is like entering a battle already thinking about life after it, instead of focusing on survival at the highest level. That sharp competitive mindset seemed to fade away as Gilberto Ramirez appeared to be mentally planning his exit while still going through the motions of getting ready for the fight.
And it was the way that David Benavidez beat Gilberto Ramirez tonight. You know, Terrence versus Canelo, that was his own masterclass. Shakur versus Tio, you know, Inoue beat Nakatani, Usyk and Fury, all really good performances, don't get me wrong, but that's what the fuck I'm talking about. What David Benavidez just did to Gilberto Ramirez. I said in the breakdown after the weigh-in that yesterday, expect some James Toney-like stuff from David Benavidez. I didn't think he'd dispatch of him in 6 rounds. This was his best performance yet. I think the pacing he had in this fight was brilliant. Knowing he was up in weight, he didn't throw too many punches too early, and he relied on his defense a lot. Did some good James Toney-like defense, paced himself, found his jab, and then the hand speed ringside was absolutely insane. I mean, he's one of the fastest fighters in boxing of any weight class, but to have hand speed like that at 200 pounds, the dexterity on the punches, he hurts Zurdo by switching southpaw in the 4th round, hits him with a straight left hand, then follows it up with ridiculous combinations. I mean, electrifying stuff, you know, like Sugar Ray Leonard, Oscar De La Hoya type fucking combinations, and eventually drops him with the right hand, hitting him with every punch in the book. The left hook in the inside was money, and just puts together some beautiful offense. He is one of the most offensively prolific fighters in the game.
The difference between the 2 training camps was impossible to ignore. While his opponent was preparing with intense focus and clear intent, Gilberto Ramirez seemed to be thinking beyond the fight, already imagining a calmer life away from tough workouts, heavy bags, and demanding sparring sessions. That slight change in mindset can be enough to turn even a top-level fighter into an easy target inside the ring.
And the fans like what they came to see. So, you know, there was a lot of talk this week about, is he really a real Mexican and all that stuff. Look, Julio Cesar Chavez was on the fence about it when I asked him back in Thursday after the press conference. I don't think he's on the fence now. He hugged David Benavidez in the ring right after the fight. So this kid has a chance. This man has a chance to be the best Mexican-American fighter since Oscar De La Hoya. He's that good. He has that kind of scintillating hand speed like Oscar had in combination punching. But Zurdo, he tried to give, and I said before the fight, Zurdo was accepting his role as a supporting actor, and that's exactly what he did in this fight. He tried to give David his own medicine in rounds 2 and 3 and had some success doing it. He gave David some of his own medicine. He pressured him, he pressed him as the bigger man, tried to take away some of his range, but unfortunately for him, David Benavidez is an excellent inside fighter. And whenever he wanted to, he would pick his spots with combinations. The short left hook couldn't miss. There was times, even on the inside, he would find the dexterity to hit him with a power jab. So, and people always talk about David squaring his feet up, but he makes it work for him in a way that's very creative and dynamic. And that's why he even went as far as switching southpaw a couple times. So then into the 6th round, Benavidez, after dropping him in the 4th, went back to pacing himself. I think this was the best he ever paced himself in a fight, better than David Morrell or Caleb Plant or any of those fights. And part of it was he had a much more stationary target in front of him. Guys like Vosdick, guys like Morrell, Yard, Plant, even Andrade, who he knocked out in the same amount of rounds. These guys all...
The moment the fight began inside the ropes, the outcome quickly turned harsh and unforgiving as David Benavidez did more than just aim for victory. He methodically took control from the start. His speed was overwhelming, the pressure never let up, and the non-stop punches created a brutal scene. Over 6 difficult rounds, it barely felt like a contest, and instead looked like a physical collapse of Gilberto Ramirez, who appeared out of place. Every sharp combination from the so-called Mexican monster seemed to drain whatever resistance remained. It was not only the force behind the shots, but also the constant pressure and angles that left no room to recover. Benavidez pushed him back to the ropes and fired hooks and uppercuts with serious intent, leaving no chance for escape or adjustment from the corner. As the fight continued, it became increasingly clear that the result was inevitable. And when the decisive punch landed in the 6th round, any remaining hope disappeared. The former cruiserweight champion was not just defeated, but completely overwhelmed.
And I'm just very happy with this. I worked my ass off for this camp. I trained 5 months in training camp for this because I knew Zurdo Ramirez was a warrior, and I knew that he was not going to let go of his titles willingly. So, you know, I knew the risks. I knew what I was capable of. I went up there, I told everybody that I wanted to stop Zurdo Ramirez, and that's exactly what I did. And here I am, and I'm just very happy with this, and I just want to keep fighting against the best in the world and keep cementing my greatness. You know, everybody doubts me over and over and over and over again, but that's what I like. You know, I like when people doubt me because then I get to come in here and show you guys what I'm really made of. So I just want to tell you thank you so much. I love every single one of you, and this is a blessing just to be here with you guys. So thank you so much.
The moment the referee stopped the fight, the scene quickly turned unsettling as chaos broke out around the ring. Viral clips spread across social media, showing medical staff rushing in. Without delay, the usual post-fight excitement disappeared, completely replaced by tension, as cameras captured a quiet and uneasy scene around his corner. While medics worked urgently, the crowd's energy dropped into a worried silence, and the harsh reality of the sport became clear to everyone watching as Gilberto Ramirez was secured onto a stretcher and taken toward a nearby hospital. The entire mood inside the arena shifted instantly. It was no longer about celebrating a major win, but instead became a serious health concern that overshadowed everything else.
The gifts I got gave me: speed, power, movement, point selection, and IQ. That's exactly what I did. Got go around. That's what I
Start moving back, moving back.
The crowd fell quiet as the harsh truth of the sport unfolded in front of them. It is one thing for a fighter like Gilberto Ramirez to lose titles, but it becomes far more alarming when the body can no longer handle the intense pressure from a younger, more determined opponent inside the ring.
Benavidez. David Benavidez is fucking special. David Benavidez is everything you want in a fighter. You talking speed, aggression, defense. And think about his defense, right? He's not moving around the ring. He stands right there in front of you. And he's willing to take a shot. He's going to block some shot, but he's willing to take a shot. And he's going to shoot his load every time. Combinations. Power. Just utter savagery. Oh my God. This guy is so special. Such a beautiful fighter to watch. It's like watching Picasso. The ring is this man's canvas. What he just did to Zurdo Ramirez was special. But if you watch Zurdo throughout his career, you knew what was going to happen. Like, if you really watched the two fighters, you knew what was going to happen. I never rated Zurdo that high. Respectable fighter. But I never thought he was that good. Resume was a little inflated. You look at his resume, like, as far as top guys or names, like, who did he really fight? What does he really bring to the table? When you watch Benavidez, you know, you see it. You see who he fought. You see what he does to fighters. I say that to say, if you watch these two, you knew what the outcome was. And it proved to be true. David fucking Benavidez. Take a bow, young man. Take a bow. God damn.